So this is an interesting thing. So Barry Jackson has a column.
Oh boy,
what? He has some good stuff. He has a column in the Miami Herald. A lot of Heat nuggets in this piece. I love when Barry Jackson does the nugget columns, and got some good stuff on Victor Oladipo. According to this, it says, though a surgeon who operated on the impending unrestricted free agent Victor Oladipo's quadricep told ESPN he could be basketball ready ready for basketball activity by November. We're told the Heat does not believe that he'll be ready for NBA games by then. The Oladipo camp is hopeful that he could play basketball anywhere between mid-December and early February, but that will remain speculative until he gets on the court, and the Heat isn't assuming anything. If the Heat brings him back, it would likely be on a low-money deal, and only if Miami operates as an over-the-cap team instead of using their cap space. It is very much in question if the Heat will pursue him vigorously. Riley was non-committal on him in the post-season news conference.
Can I ask you a question? Is this a player that you eat it for the short term because of the benefits of the long term?
I don't know.
You understand what I'm saying, right? Is that you show loyalty by him and say you give him a little more than he would normally make instead of waiting until he's
But you're not saying something like you're not. What do you mean by that? Like how much?
I don't know what the number, and that was going to be my next question. Is what would be the number?
I don't know.
Like I don't know what the number would be, but it seems like you could do good or in building a relationship with him. So say if it cost you $3 or $4 million now, it could save you 20 or 30 if he balls in, when he can play.
He put a post on Instagram, and so I don't know if this is like Victor Oladipo's crypto post world or whatnot, but he posts like a little postcard, and it says, "I am at a place in my life where peace is priority. I make deliberate life choices to protect my mental and emotional and spiritual state." And then he then posts on the next one his own little postcard, which is AKA keep that negative bleep to yourself. I don't have time for it. Hashtag respectively.
A lot of times they're responding to a tweet or something like that. You know what I mean? And you just haven't gone far enough. Because like those don't sound like comments that just come up out of the air. Sounds like comments that come from comments. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. The couple of minutes that we saw him try to be explosive, I got to tell you, I was thinking that's what the Heat need. That's what the Heat need.
He looked, it really is a crime that he looked the best because he didn't look good in most of the games, but it's only 4 games. But that 4th game, he looked really, really good.
Oh yeah,
he looked really, really good. And it is crazy that it seems like the doctor who did the surgery says like he shouldn't have even been playing on. What are you doing, by the way? What's going on with your screen?
I'm cleaning it.
Oh, all right. I was wondering. You were sounding like you were in a scuba tank.
It started with my trackpad. It got a little sticky with my last meal. And my finger kept getting stuck to the trackpad. So
Barry also writes, there is one scenario in which Oladipo would be healthy enough to play next season, but might not if he and his representatives don't like the financial offers. If Oladipo is offered no more than say $5 million to play half a season, he might just sit out. He might just sit out the season, get healthy, and then seek a deal closer to his market value in 2022. The only thing
just putting that out there, but I will tell you this:
I don't feel like that's
if you don't play, that ain't happening.
Yeah, I feel like that. If anything, you're going to have to come back and do another prove it deal. Either way, so you might as well just get it out of the way.
But that's what I'm saying. You could do good. A team could do good by Victor Oladipo and maybe pay him a couple of million more than he would, in hopes that, like, you're taking that chance too, that you can sign him to an extension that is maybe a little bit better for you.
I guess I just I think the only thing that he really have we know that he's wanted to be in Miami for a long time. I mean, it's one of the worst kept secrets in the NBA. Victor Oladipo has been tied to the Heat for feels like 3 years
Right.
that he's wanted to get down here. So what is it worth to Victor Oladipo? I guess if the market really isn't there for him, what is it worth for him to be in a place where he wants to be or feels happy to be? And then I guess it also will depend on what are the Heat going to go after. Are they going to go after Tim Hardaway Jr.? Are they going to go after Kyle Lowry? Will he feel like that's a good fit with him? Being a good fit next to him. All those things I'm sure got to go into play. The only thing the Heat really, I think, if you want to say have going for them with Oladipo, is that he's wanted to be in South Florida for a long time. Who knows? I mean, listen, maybe he's got a great relationship with D Wade. Maybe D Wade convinces the Jazz to go and bring him in to kind of supplement Donovan Mitchell, because they just you don't quite know what they're going to do with Mike Conley in the offseason or anything like that. So that's a possibility I could see, but other than that, I don't know, man. It's just you don't think I find it to be a scary thing where you have a guy who, now that we know or have the idea that his surgery wasn't done right. Okay. So now it feels like we haven't had a guy who's truly been right playing basketball for 3 years.
Right.
That's a scary thing. That's a scary thing. Even if he is a good player.
I think somebody would be advising him very poorly to think that if some team were to offer him $4 or $5 million for a half a season, that he turn it down because he's going to get a big time deal if he sits out. I don't think that's happening.
No, I mean, what you need to do, almost like what Reggie Jackson did. Like Reggie Jackson had to take a prove it deal this year, and now I got to imagine he's going to get. I imagine someone's going to back up the Brinks truck for him. Maybe it's not a long-term deal, but I'm sure somebody will give Reggie Jackson a fat 2-year contract off of what he did this year.
Yep. Now, how would you feel about Reggie Jackson?
I don't quite trust it yet.
I don't trust it.
I don't trust it.
You're like,
I don't trust it.
It's like, okay, sit down, Reggie. I love what you did with the Clippers. Love what you're doing.
I don't trust
it. I say, but I'm kind of, look, I'm not rats off a ship, right? And it's amazing because they
should bring him back. I feel like the Clippers should bring him back.
Right.
That should be, because they can't make many moves anyway, right? Unless, I guess, look, if Kawhi leaves, I'm sure they're going to be able to do some stuff. But
here's the deal: we all understand what the Heat need. You need somebody like Victor Oladipo, like Reggie Jackson, Kyle Lowry to a certain extent, right? A guy who is gonna not only give you a little bit on the defensive end, but be able to be a threat from the point guard position, and it comes natural to them. We've had point guards, but it's not a natural position for them. Victor's a natural point guard. You look at Kyle Lowry, natural point guard. Reggie Jackson, natural point guard. But those guys also can score and are good defensive players. So I think they need something like that.
A lot of people talking about the Tim Hardaway thing, Tim Hardaway Jr. We could get into some of that because there's some reports.
We have
Jr.
guys like that though. I like it. It sounds great.
Yeah,
we have that.
We'll take
we have that athletic wing. We keep getting rid of him. Remember Derrick Jones Jr.? Keep getting rid of him.
But Derrick Jones Jr. was skinny. Leroy
really
sandwich.
Okay, but Hardaway is a perimeter guy who is going to shoot the three, and we've had that guy.
There was an interesting nugget on Tyler Herro. Now, you guys remember the report? We talked about this when it came out, where there was a report, a broadcast. Barry Wright says there was a broadcast report this past season that the Heat were concerned about Tyler Herro and whether he was spreading himself too thin with off-court endeavors, including launching his own cereal brand and his social life, which, there was that whole thing. I think it was Skolnick and Ira were talking about too much of the celebrity status for Tyler Herro. which I honestly found laughable at the time because it's like the Heat. I mean, they rocked that Tyler Tuesday like it was going out of style. I mean, they were pumping up Tyler Herro nonstop. First jerseys that you can get were Tyler Herro jerseys on back order. I see 14s are running around the arena like crazy. And so they were pumping up Tyler Herro themselves just as much as maybe Tyler Herro was pumping himself up just because he had his own Chipotle bowl and his faux Fruit Loops Heroes. But according to Barry Jackson, a team official emphasized there is no concern with Herro in that regard, that he continued to put work in even while enjoying an active social life typically afforded to a young NBA star. Herro is an expectant father and often posts himself with the baby's mother on social media. That official said there's nothing that has seriously troubled the Heat about Herro's private life or comportment, adding, do you think that Jimmy Butler would put up with Herro not working to improve his game? Which has kind of always been the thing on Tyler Herro. Like, people get on because he's got the IG model girlfriend, but Tyler Herro has always been known as a gym rat. That's kind of always been his MO. Yeah. Like, he's always been a hard worker. It's just that, he's Scotty Drippin'. Like, he dresses with nipple shirts. it makes for one to be an easy target once he has some shortcomings. Do you have Pat Riley, Robbie? This was Pat Riley back at his postseason press conference where he addressed Tyler Herro and his future with the team.
He's a core player. That's all there is to it. Tyler Herro is a core player for us. You might have hit it on the head, Ira. Maybe he had a sophomore jinx or whatever, but when we drafted, Tyler and KZ, and then we signed Jimmy, that was 22 months ago. And over the last 22 months, from the night that he stepped up on that stage with Adam Silver in that swag coat and necklace, was a wonderful night for him and for us. He put the Heat hat on, and then he went and electrified a lot of people in this arena and in this city, and especially our coaches in this organization. So Tyler's a core player. He'll figure it out. We'll figure it out with him.
Maybe.
Here's what I would like you to do, Robbie. Store that in the drops.
Oh, really?
Like with this?
So wait, you're gonna do that with? No.
You know what's gonna happen?
No. I don't want you doing that. No, you're doing that with Pat Riley, and you're gonna do the same thing you did with the D Wade soundbite that you keep playing, where you say that compensation is a form of respect, and then he was on the Chicago Bulls. And then this. I don't like that.
He's a lifer. What he's done in this city over the last 13 years is irreplaceable, and so we want to do the right thing.
I'm just telling folks like this. Keep it real. Things change. Situations change. But I'll say this. If there is a trade and somebody needs to be traded for, Tyler Herro is the first one on the trade block.
That's true, because they don't have picks.
So that Heat lifer, that Heat
core player.
He's a core player.
So you wait. So you're calling him a liar? Do you think that do you think this report is fluff? Like, do you think they want this out in the ether that we're not concerned with his celebrity status? In fact, gym rat. Are we going to start seeing Tyler Tuesday in the gym where he's throwing up LBs like Deontay Wilder?
That's all fine and great. He can work his ass off.
Deceptive speed.
It don't matter. He's the first one on the block. You know that. I know that. So we're going to play that again because things change. And what you thought about him on Tuesday ain't what you think about if a bigger fish needs to be got or needs to be had.
So we're just going to...
what you're going to do? When you want to go whaling, you know what you use to catch whales?
Squid.
Little fish.
Squid.
So he going to take Tyler and he going to put him on the hook and he going to throw him over the back and troll with him.
Tate South says
Tyler going to be in the back of the boat just shaking like one of them little fake big fish. And then some gonna go, Kawhi Leonard. And you gonna reel him in, and Tyler gone.
Dade South says he's an apple core. You just throw him away.
Oh, man.
For Twitcher.
Albore says the damage is done. I mean, maybe the damage isn't done. You see those muscles that Devin Booker had last night? He hasn't even had a chance to get his man muscles yet, you know?
You don't need him.
Throw a little off season with them.
He don't need him.
Talk to Dante.
What do you mean? Get a little Swolski on. Remember what Duncan Robinson looked like his first year? And then he got a year to lift some weights. You know, so get some swole on for old hero.
Hey,
That's
man.
right.
Hey,
That's
man.
right, Gogi.
That's not Gogi.
Everybody just rats off a ship on him.
I'm not rats off a ship.
Rats off a ship.
But what I am is I know how to fish. And the bigger fish you need to catch, the bigger the bait need to be.
Julian says, you
can't go get Kawhi for a Kendrick Nunn. You could just catch bass with that.
Julian says, I never liked Tyler Herro. I knew from the way he acts, the Miami lifestyle was going to ruin his play. Throwing a then 20-year-old in Miami is like throwing a salmon to a bear.
Let him hit puberty first.
We are aware that he had the IG girlfriend in the bubble, right? Like, this isn't like he got the IG girlfriend and he was cursed.
And
like,
she came to the bubble.
He was dropping 37 in the Eastern Conference Finals with her on his arm.
That's fine. That's all fine and great. Okay. I'm familiar with Pat Riley's work.
Hmm?
Pat Riley comes on in. He's reading Twitter on his fake Robbie account.
On his burner.
On his burner account. He's a disgruntled, huh? He said, ask him if he like plastic worms. Ask the Clippers if they like plastic worms or live bait. Live bait? All right, get Tyler ready.
David Allen says, back in October, the Tyler slurp was strong. Of course it was. Of course it was. Higher than ever.
I'm telling
Sky
you right
high.
now, the way Pat Riley feels right now about saying these guys are untouchable and this core guys and whatever, he's kicking himself in the butt. Because he could have had some of these players that are balling out. But he wanted to keep certain guys. He's never been that way. He's always been the guy that, regardless of what he had, he looked at the proven the proven guy and it's easier to figure out what your team's going to be with that proven guy.
Yeah, Dade South says muscles can't fix the T-Rex.
Hey, look, I don't know, like, how much better is Tyler Herro going to be if he had the wingspan of a 6'6" guy? He's fine.
Tobin, look it up in the coach's dictionary. Core player means trade piece. Did you see, Leroy? There's a couple reports out there, some rumblings, some whispers that this is from 5 Reasons Sports. I think it was Greg Sylvander who reported that the Heat have explored possibly acquiring Collin Sexton in a deal with Kevin Love. Is that particularly fancy having to take on Mr. 4-6, but you get a really talented young point guard in Collin Sexton.
If Kevin can give you, he's an excellent rebounder, which has plagued the Dolphins. The Heat. Sexton, is he going to play the point guard? It depends on what, if you make that move, you're definitely thinking you're not getting Kendrick Nunn back, nor are you getting Duncan Robinson back.
The only thing that worries me about a deal like this, it's a couple of things. One, Kevin Love hasn't been a contributor to basketball in a good 4 years. Like ever since LeBron left, he has basically
No,
been.
he's
Dude, he's been Mr.
Dude,
4 to 6.
He still averaged 20 points a game.
How many games has he averaged?
Go look. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Not many.
It's in Cleveland, so you're not counting, maybe you're making that assumption, but he really isn't missing a lot of games.
Bro.
Go look.
I don't have to.
The numbers of Kevin Love ain't gonna change.
Yeah, I know. He's gonna be probably like he's probably gonna be
Confirm.
He's probably gonna be 17 and 13 every one of these last 4 years, but he plays like 40 games.
Confirm it. If that's the facts, confirm it.
Fine.
I don't think you're accurate.
All right, nerd boy. You want your numbers?
I'm not.
and your
But if you
stats?
say he only plays 40 games
I
a
know.
season,
I don't have to look. I don't have to look.
You know what that means? That you have doubts.
I don't have to look.
I'll look it up.
I'll look it up. No, I got it.
No.
I got it.
I don't
Okay,
want you to
last
lie.
year, Kevin Love played 25 games.
Okay.
Okay. Which did they just tell him to stay home, Robbie, or was he
That
hurt?
was 60 games, 60 game season.
No, this year. Well, this year was a 72 game.
72
No,
games.
last year was 60 game season.
No,
No,
last
50
year was
games.
72 games.
Yeah,
No.
because the
No,
Cavs.
not
72
last
games.
year.
Yeah, the bubble.
No, with the
year-
bubble, they didn't play 72 games.
Well, yeah, because the Cavs weren't invited to the bubble, and he got 50.
I'm talking about last year. This last year that we just had, the Astros.
No, I'm
season.
talking about the year before. You talking about this past
played
year? He played
56.
25
56.
games.
Yes, this past year he played 25 games.
Okay.
All right. Year before that, 56.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, he averaged this year in his 25 games 12 points and 7 rebounds.
Okay.
Not great.
He's definitely
great,
on
Bob.
the decline.
Shot 41%.
Okay.
The year before that, 56 games. So
Out
still
of
missing
60.
some time.
Mhm,
I
you're
don't
right.
think it was 60. I think it was more like 66, wasn't it?
Okay.
Well, they didn't make the bubble. They
Yeah.
didn't make the bubble. They
Right.
were bums. That year he was 18 and 10.
Okay.
And then the year before that, 22 games.
Ooh.
Yep.
That was the 72 game season.
82. That
No,
was a full boat.
that was a full season. That was when
That's
things
what I
were normal.
said. 82. Sorry, 82.
Yeah, that was when things were normal.
Right.
The year before that, when things were normal, 59 games.
Okay.
That was also and then the last year LeBron was there, he played 60 games.
Okay.
He has not played more than 70 games in 6 years.
Okay.
But I guess I'll take away last year because you're saying it's a shortened season.
Right.
So, but anyway, so the point is you're going to have to take the old salary dump from Kevin Love,
Yep.
who, let's see how many years he got left.
Two.
Kevin
You got
Love's
2
there.
years left.
2 years left at what, like 30 million apiece, Robbie?
Yeah, 31 million this coming basketball season, and then the 22-23 season, you
Okay.
got 28 million.
So he plays this year, and that last year, you can use him as salary filler.
Yeah, I guess. And then Collin Sexton, obviously, that's the price. So you're going to go get a young point. The only thing that I worry about with the whole young point guard thing is you're looking at Collin Sexton, who hasn't played in any important games.
Really?
And
It's
you're
basketball.
Hear me out. You're asking this guy to basically be your last piece. Like, this is what you're running with. You're running with Collin Sexton, who I think is very talented and looks like he's getting better. But you're asking him to kind of be the head of the snake of this Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo thing. And we're already like talking about how Bam doesn't know like those takeover moments yet. And got a little bit flummoxed by the stage and all that type of stuff. I just think it's a big ask to have this guy kind of be the thing. Like, it's not like bringing in like a Chris Paul or a Kyle Lowry, where it feels like you have a veteran guy who's got to settle things down and all that type of stuff. Like, it's just I think it's a lot to put on the guy as your big acquisition.
The veteran can read the room better. I'll give you that. But I will also say this. The difference between Bam and Sexton is this. Sexton is a scorer. Bam wasn't that. He's trying to become one. So they're in different situations. So
Also,
he's going to kind of have an idea of how to do that and maybe take over a game when he has an advantage, because that's what he's been bred to do.
Does it worry at all too that like Cleveland, who, perennially finds themselves in the top of the lottery, like so they're getting rid of another guy? Like, they're just not going to extend him. They decide, hey, let's get out of the whole Collin Sexton business.
I would say this is that if the Heat thinks he's a good player, I give them a lot more credit than I think I would give Cleveland, who drafted him, simply because they have a track record.
Yeah, they
So
do suck at this.
if the Heat come to you and say, "Whew, I see this player, we can do something with him," I believe them. Look at their track record. Look at what they've done as far as players, as far as, what they can do and how they can get those players to fit in what they're doing. So I'm going to give them credit if they choose to. This would not be a deal where let's just take a flyer on this guy. Victor Oladipo was a flyer.
Yep.
Okay.
Buy low.
This is not a flyer. And from that standpoint, I'm going to say, all right, good. I didn't know he was in the mix. He's in the mix now. I know that he sees something.
Feels like everything's in the mix. There's so much on the table right now.
Well, yeah, but they do know one thing. They got to make some adjustments.
Oh, definitely. Like if you run it back, I think people are going to freak out.
Then the other thing is that, like, when I think of Kevin Love and his injuries, I would say playing on that team can't
be
easy.
Yeah,
right.
You've been you've gone from the heights of being on that type of team to you're always rebuilding. Yeah, I'm sure that sucks.
Let's put it this way. What if he comes back like Boogie Cousins did? Not that like where he is with the Clippers now, that eventually he gets to a point where he's going to be a solid contributor.
Yeah, I mean, like,
because he is a stretch four.
Theoretically, you're bringing in a guy of Kevin Love. You're bringing in a guy who, like you said, is great rebounder. I mean, really good shooter. So
he's a Hall of Famer, by the way.
It's a good fit next to Bam. It is a good fit next to Bam. But like, you just wait. Like, we're all waiting. Like you'd be have him here, and you'd all be waiting. Like, when's it coming? When's the hammy? When's the hand injury? When's the back injury? When's it happening?
The crazy thing about basketball is sometimes a guy could be out 6 to 8 weeks, and when he gets hurt, it looks like the most innocuous thing, like no big deal. Like, I got a boo-boo. And then you say, out 6 to 8.
How mysterious are the Heat going to be with Kevin Love injuries?
Oh, God.
But you don't think that when you come to an organization that all they do is win and compete, that you get a jolt of energy that you haven't had in 4 or 5 years?
I'm sure there is some of that, but I don't know how they fix the durability thing with him. I don't know.
Maybe the durability has a lot to. So say if he missed 20 games or 30 games, with the Heat, it would only be 10 games because he sees there's a reason to play.
Or they just don't tell us why he's missing 10 games, and they're just like, he's day to day, no new updates.
Dealing with
because I gotta believe a stretch four that can shoot and rebound is going to be better than any four that they've had here in a while if he's available. The cost, but would you? Here's the kicker. Would you try to work something out and do something with Kevin Love if it means you get Collin Sexton?
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. Is you're taking on the last $60 million of his contract, and you also get this young asset who you'd also have to probably extend in the summer. But
mm-hmm.
He looks like a really talented player. The guy's, what did he average? 24 points a game last year.
You could say you took another star from Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, stars lose, but
here. Now,
very talented player.
Yeah, you're right. In today's day and age, that he's not.
Let me ask you, how close is he to 24-point a game guy and a looter in the riot?
I mean, Devin Booker was that for a while. Like, he was looter in the riot guy. Now he's in the NBA.
Okay,
finals.
But he's in the finals.
Yeah.
But so nobody ever said that. Well, yeah, Robbie, you did. You scored 70 and you lost 60.
I mean, Kyrie was that too. I mean, Kyrie was in that role. Like before LeBron got there, that team was awful every year.
Right. So do you see him as a guy like his circumstances are kind of
it's Cleveland
putting those numbers up, but is he really that good?
Being in Cleveland is the worst circumstance known to man. Sorry, bro, but it's the worst circumstance known to man. Like, you got to live in Cleveland. Goldhammer lives there. Who could flourish there other than LeBron?
I had a great time. I love Cleveland.
Play soccer
Cleveland is like the whole city is like hanging out with your boys.
with your flaming lake.
No, isn't it? Well, no, but it is a lake that creates snow. No, it does.
I believe you.
Lake is called Lake Effect Snow.
I should give
Where it
respect
just
to
snows for no damn reason whatsoever.
gotta give respect to Stipe too. Stipe flourished in
yeah.
Cleveland.
Champion.
You know, the OG, the real curse breaker.
Oh, jeez.
I guess Amber's now repping Cleveland. Now she's doing shows with Goldhammer.
That's true. She does. Amber's going to ESPN Cleveland the Hammer.
Tony Grossi, your favorite, Leroy?
Yep. Amber, time to bring on Tony Grossi. Talk about a little Browns football. Tony, have you made up with Baker Mayfield yet? Hammer time is 9:32.